Hello ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for special report where you get educated and informed on what is happening in the country and beyond. My name is Mesh Msimbi. Alright, we begin our bulletin with a story from the corridors of power. Now, President William Ruto on Monday was at Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi for the Connected Africa Summit 2024. The president was received by Information, Communication and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo. He was then taken through exhibition booths for various technological innovations by organizations and students. The summit was attended by Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, representatives from other African and European countries, MPs and business leaders, among others. The summit is set to end on 25th of April 2024. The summit aims to underscore the relevance of the digital economy in driving economic growth and development. Have a look. Alright, moving on away from that, conflicting narratives have arisen surrounding the presence of late General Francis Ogolla at the Bomas of Kenya during the announcement of the 2022 presidential election results on 15th of August 2022. During General Ogolla's funeral, Defense Cabinet Secretary Duale emphasized General Ogolla's character and unwavering commitment to duty, maintaining that his presence at the Bomas of Kenya was the behest of his superiors. Have a look. On his final journey and for the second day in a row, events of the August 15, 2022 at the Bomas of Kenya marked General Francis Ogolla's funeral.
General Ogolla is among the people who went to Bomas to try and overturn my victory.
And when the whole issue of Bomas, 15th of August, was hanging over his head, he even told me, and the family can agree with me, we had conducive discussion, that even he has lost weight, that this thing was disturbing him. And Your Excellency, General Ogolla was not, as the Vice Chief of Defense Forces, was not a member of the National Security Committee, which is chaired by the Head of Public Service. So how did the General Ogolla went to NSAC and to Bomas? And as a Muslim, General Ogolla shared with me text messages.
Speakers here including Defense Cabinet Secretary Duale, absolving him from harboring the intent to change the outcome of the presidential election when he visited the Bomas of Kenya prior to the announcement of the presidential outcome. According to Duale, Ogolla was holding breath for his boss.
Of his superiors and members of the National Security Committee then. And he asked 3-4 times. First, in the morning when he was going to NSAC, he showed me the message that he was given, go represent me at NSAC, because of a prior other commitment of the person who was supposed to go. When he went to NSAC, General Ogolla and a direction was given to him with the other colleagues, with a leader, him as a member, to go to Bomas. General Ogolla, as a respectable soldier and general, he asked and sent a text message to his bosses and asked, what am I going to do in Bomas? And this has happened. And General Ogolla was told, it's been decided, you go. And I'm narrating what General Ogolla today, he's lying here, this man told me when he went to Bomas, the then chairman of IBC, he told me, kept them for 5 hours. And the 411 came while he was in Bomas, saying the results will be announced at 3. And General Ogolla then again sent a text message and saying, now that the result will be announced at 3, as a general, as a soldier, what am I doing here? And he was told, stay with your colleague. That text message is there.
Speakers eulogized the 4-star general as apolitical with no engagement in political affairs.
This to go on record that General Ogolla, who is seated here, will not be engaged in something like that.
The Bomas visit, which hung over his head during his appointment as the Chief of Defense Forces, coming up again after President William Ruto revealed details of a meeting with the military general.
It wasn't an easy decision, as it should. It's always a decision of many balances. But let me say this about General Ogolla. All the recommendations that I got on the next CDF and all the advice that I got about the next CDF did not include the name of General Ogolla, unfortunately. But he was a military officer with a distinguished career. There was only one problem: the events of the 15th of August at the Bomas of Kenya. And so, I asked General Ogolla for a meeting, and I had a one-on-one, man-to-man, come to Jesus meeting with General Ogolla. And when we concluded that meeting, General Ogolla told me the following: Mr. President, I have no defense. I will not try to defend myself. It was wrong what happened. And you have 3 choices. Either send me to court-martial, or have me retired, or forgive me.
Siaya Governor James Orengo calling for an end to the doubt that hung over his head till his sudden death.
The lingering doubt is that there is this allegation that General Ogolla went to Bomas to try and change the elections. But General Ogolla, the way I know him, and I've gone to see him, even on political issues, and he will tell me if it is that,
as a result of allegations by some leaders on the appointment of people from the region, Duale said the region had produced some of the best generals in military history. Duale also defended his master President William Ruto, saying he defied all odds and advised to appoint General Ogolla as the Chief of Defense Forces. According to the president, General Ogolla was the best fit for the position, despite the controversies that arose.
This region has produced decorated generals. General Owiti, General Opande, and many, many others. But because you wanted to change Kenya, you said we must kill ethnicity and regionalism in our country. Your Excellency, and I want to confirm to the nation, there were many people within even our ranks who say General Ogolla should not be appointed. But they had only one reason. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate, the reason of 15th of August. They forgot all the other credentials of General Ogolla. Your Excellency, you have confirmed to the nation you are not a petty leader. You are not a vengeful leader. You are not a person who will follow what happened, Your Excellency. As your Minister for Defense, you made a deliberate, with the finality, based on the credentials. He was a smart general. He was one of our finest F-15 jet fighter. He has trained everybody here, including the current Air Force commander.
However, opposition leader Raila Odinga called for a speedy investigation into General Ogolla's death as he refutes claims of General Ogolla trying to overturn President William Ruto's win.
A lot of rumors are flying around all over. We want these rumors to be put to rest. And this can only happen if there's a thorough investigation to tell us the cause of the death, how that plane came down. But also, Your Excellency, this is also time to take a look at our equipment and our military. Because you have seen a number of these accidents over the last 5 to 10 years. There's been so many of these crashes. We want to put this to an end so that we can save lives of our people. Finally, as we lay Ogolla tomorrow to rest, I want us to remove the stigma, Your Excellency. Because I knew this man very well. General Ogolla would never have contemplated or thought about going to Bomas of Kenya to force Mr. Chebukati to alter the results of last general elections. So we want this to be removed as we lay him to rest.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Mesh Msimbi. Moving on, Busia residents that have been affected in different parts of Budalangi constituency of Busia County are in need of foodstuffs, mosquito nets and clean drinking water. The residents that have been affected by floods are camping in tents with hope that urgent help will locate them as the rains continue pounding the region.
Familia 786 ambao wameshaathirika hapa Budalangi, na mvua bado inaendelea na tunatarajia kwamba kutakuwa na athari kubwa, na hata tunatarajia kwamba pengine hiyo namba itaongezeka sana.
Solution ya kwanza, tukifungua hii mito yetu, hizi canals ziko 7, tukizifungua zote na tuweze kutengeneza hizo non-returned valves kwa hizi area kama hapa Rugunga, kuna maji yenyewe itakuwa inateremka inaenda inazunguka na huko chini.
Watu wanahitaji msaada wa kula na hata mavazi wapewe kusudi wajisitiri kama wanadamu wengine.
Well, President William Ruto has joined Kenyans and leaders in anxiously waiting for the cause of the accident that killed General Francis Ogolla in a chopper crash, appearing to dismiss as passions that it was a political assassination. The head of state has assured Kenyans that the inquiry team already set up will get to the bottom of the chopper crash. Antonio Sundwa reports.
Even after the death of General Ogolla, controversy continues to surround his cause of death in a helicopter crash.
So when such things happen, we are a bit suspicious, not because of anything, but we want to know the truth.
President William Ruto has welcomed through investigations into the death of Chief of Defense Forces General Francis Ogolla.
I have full confidence that General Omenda and the team he has appointed to make sure that all details are laid bare on the accident that took away the life of General Ogolla.
Speaking during the memorial service in Siaya County on Sunday, President Ruto vowed that he will make sure all security agencies, including the investigation teams, leave no stone unturned in the unearthing of the truth behind the fatal plane crash that claimed the life of Ogolla.
And I want to assure the country that the KDF, our Kenya Air Force, have the requisite integrity and professionalism to make sure that there will be no shroud of doubt on what happened to General Ogolla.
Joel Rabuku, the straight-shooting son of General Francis Ogolla, downplayed the claims of silent row between his father and President William Ruto. For a man who appears dedicated to following in his father's footsteps in giving back to the community, Rabuku dismissed claims of a foul play in his father's death.
I've been told by my mother my father's gone down. 10 minutes later, I'm seeing a helicopter burning. What does that mean? Of course he's dead. And people are so insensitive. So you broke the news. Umepewa EGH for breaking the news that the general is dead. Let us be sensitive. Tafadhali, bloggers, watia media. Mwambiwa bloggers wache mchezo. I'd mentioned them by name. Lakini hiyo tabia bana.
Azimio leaders have called on the government to conduct a thorough probe into the death of Chief of Kenya Defence Forces Francis Ogolla, even as President William Ruto said that there will be nothing to hide. Led by Siaya Senator Oburu Odinga, they reiterated that it is only through making the report public that Kenyans will get over the unfortunate incident that also claimed the lives of 9 other army officers.
I would just like to say that the death was an accident, but even though it is an accident, in this region we have had many such accidents, and we have also had assassination of leaders from this region. So when such things happen, we are a bit suspicious, not because of anything, but we want to know the truth. We want to know the truth.
The ODM leader Raila Odinga's elder brother called on General Ogolla's family to let Kenyans freely raise critical questions that could unravel the truth behind the plane crash that took away the country's top military officer.
And I want to ask our uncle, the general's son, not to be impatient with us. It is not because of anything. It is just because once beaten, twice shy. So we are asking for no stones to be left unturned, and let us know the truth of who killed our uncle, General Ogolla. He died too soon. So young man, please just allow investigators to do their work. Now, with those very few remarks, I would once again want to wish that our...
He also cautioned that the cause of death of influential members of the community who have died in the past are yet to be resolved and made public.
Are a bit shaken by his death, and you people know we lost Tom Mboya in very tragic circumstances. We lost Ouko in very tragic circumstances. And when we lost Ouko, I was part and parcel of the team of parliament which was investigating the death of Ouko. And I can tell you it was very sad, because the regime at that time managed to convince the family to be very protective and not to allow people to go into details.
Siaya Governor James Orengo reiterated that nothing should be ruled out in the process of investigation for the real truth to come out.
You want to carry a true investigation, don't leave anything out. So we want to be assured that nothing will be left out so that the truth comes out.
Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and Hanag Kenya leader Martha Karua also backed the calls for a proper investigation to be conducted.
What Kenyans want, Mr. President, is simply to make it public, because then that will allay all these fears. And the matter of General Ogolla goes goes beyond our sister Eileen and our beautiful kids. It's a national thing, for the truth must come out.
When an accident occurs, it's a security issue. The security concerns which deserve an answer for the nation. And since an inquiry has already been formed, we look forward to a speedy investigations. I salute our fallen general. Fare thee well. May God bless him and his family.
Antonio Sundwa, Maisha Prime, Maisha TV.
It will never happen again. Not under my watch.
Someone could argue that this is the kind of journalism we need. This is the kind of reporting we need. Even the word impossible has the word possible in it. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your broadcast.